In this box is a $250 budget motorcycle helmet. It weighs about 3.5 pounds with my mic setup. I already opened this and I set up my mic. This one's a size small, and without the mic setup, it's exactly 3 pounds. It also comes with this spare visor. It's supposed to be like a dark smoke. And to remove the old visor, you just line up these 2 arrows right here on the side and yank it off. It's a little sketchy, but it works. And you install it the same way. Now, there's no pin lock for this visor, but Scorpion's visors are supposed to be fog free anyway. Oh yeah, this is the Covert FX from Scorpion. This is a review. Okay, here's your disclaimer. I didn't get paid to make this review. I asked them for this helmet, but they're not paying me a dime. So you don't have to worry. You can trust me. I'm not gonna feed you guys bullshit. Okay, right off the bat, it has all the certifications that you would want in a helmet. Why is it so dark? DOT, ECE, all that ABCs. This paint is really nice. It's like a Nardo gray, cement gray. Now, my favorite part of this helmet is the liner. All Scorpion helmets feel like AGV's liners. I've talked about it in previous videos. I used to ride Shoei for a really long time, like over a decade. But I got tired of that sandpaper on my face. That's why I switched to AGV. And the first time I tried on a Scorpion helmet, I swear this material feels like it's so soft. There is one vent up here on top that opens and closes. And if you flip this over, the other one is right here on the inside. I've made a lot of short videos about this helmet, and you guys keep asking me about the wind noise, and to be honest, I have no idea. So let's go test it out. I really didn't want to tap my lens. Jesus. Alright, sliding it on, it feels really good. Like I said, this liner is insane. And of course, we had to take the FZ07 out. Gray bike, gray helmet, black leather jacket, and hot ass sun. Don't mix though. Alright, let's go. Whoa, whoa. This bike is so jerky though. That quick shifter is horrible. Way too jerky. Alright, first impressions. Just going in straight line. 30 to 40 miles an hour. It's quiet enough. Now, I don't know if it's because this bike is really loud, but let me, okay, so this is without the rumbliness of this freaking FZ. Doing about 35. It's not bad. You can definitely hear wind noise. I wouldn't say it's as quiet as a $500 Shoei though. Immediately I'm thinking of like the RF 1400. I did own that helmet for a little bit. I've owned every single RF since the 1000. And let me tell you, I've never had a helmet quieter than a Shoei. If you want silence when you're riding, you're gonna want to get a Shoei. Now, that said, is this helmet loud? No, it's actually pretty damn good for $250. Let's do the sideways test. Now, because I'm rocking a size small and it's snug to my head, the sideways test isn't too bad, and I'm doing about 40 right now. I took the FZ out on purpose because it doesn't have a windscreen. Now, if we're talking noise and you're on something like a naked bike, it's actually not that bad. And honestly, it could be part of the reason why I'm hearing wind noise at like 30-40 miles an hour. Now, normally would you hear it? Yeah, you definitely would. But personally, I don't think this has enough sound deadening in it, because at the end of the day, it's still just a $250 helmet. Let's go ahead and get gas now. I actually just changed the oil on this, so let me check to make sure nothing's leaking. The freaking exhaust is smoking. I hate these wrapped headers. These are gonna be going away if I do keep the bike, but honestly, I have no plans to keep this bike. It's just, I don't know. It feels too much like a cruiser for me. I used to think I've always wanted to try the FZ07. Well, I've always wanted to try the FZ07, but I used to think I wanted the FZ07, but after owning it and riding it, it's too much of a cruiser. All right, so on the RF 1200, the visor latch was also on this left side, and I remember how much of a pain in the ass it was to open and close. This one, it's actually not that bad. They did change it on the RF 1400 with the button in the middle, but this, not bad at all. All right, I just broke my GoPro mount on one of the clips, but seems to be staying on. Let's get this started. Way too cruiser, bro. If you want a cruiser that doesn't look like a cruiser, you get a freaking FZ07, MT07. Let's go. Is that a freaking peacock? I think that is. Could be a turkey though. All right, on to the freeway we go. Let's try it at 65 to 70. Okay, no windscreen, 70 miles an hour. Hey, look, no lie, not bad, dude. Holy cannoli. Wow, the field of view is really, really good. It does have a lot of lift when I'm going side to side, but again, no windscreen at all. Let's try it without any revs. Not bad, man. Not bad. $250. I've heard of people getting this helmet for even cheaper. Man, let me tell you something. If I am on a budget, $200 to $250 would probably be like the least I would spend on a brand new helmet. I honestly wouldn't go any less than that. And if I were to get something in the $200 to $250 range, this comes with a smoked visor already. I don't have to spend any more money. It has a 5-year warranty. It's got a little ABC certifications. It's pretty damn quiet. The visor is fog free. I'm not sure if they make a pin lock for this. I am curious to test it out in like colder weather, but right now, as it is, it's pretty chill. Now, I will say this. I'm a size small in all my helmets. This, especially after riding it and having like the wind push it against my face, I could have gone with an extra small. It does feel a tad large, as in like a half size larger. So I think an extra small in this fit my head perfectly. Oh, something is smoking though underneath, and I think it's the water. I think I wet the exhaust wrap when I was doing the coolant flush. Anyway, I can move it around right now with my hand, so that tells me this helmet is a little bit big for me. So if you are gonna get this, figure out what your size is and then size down. I mean, if you like it tight, if you like it a little bit looser on your head, I would say get the correct size. But right now, I'm moving it around, it feels a little too loose for me. I don't have to tighten the neck strap so tight. Yeah, no, that's uncomfortable. Nope, yep, I'm definitely a size extra small in this. You know, I know a lot of you guys like the MTs, the FZs. I keep getting confused from GP to regular shift. But I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this bike. Not one bit. It looks cool. I don't like the power delivery. That engine braking, like, it's miserable. Like, who wants to be doing that in traffic, bro? It's like an on and off switch. I hate it. It's not as apparent in higher gears, but like first, second, third, really off-putting. This bike, the ergonomics, way too relaxed, way too cruise. I swear, I feel like mid-ape hangers. I don't know. I don't understand you guys' love for this bike. This bike has a cult following. I get it. If you're like a stunter, that torque, it just feels like this bike just wants to come up. Everything else, it's not. I don't know. It's just not for me. Like I don't feel confident taking this to the canyons and riding it as hard as I ride my freaking other bikes, you know? All right, let's talk about ventilation real quick. I've tried opening and closing the vents. I really can't tell the difference. I can't feel the airflow in my head. I don't think this has as good of airflow as other helmets in the higher price ranges. I mean, when I flick the vent left to right, I can't confidently tell you whether or not. So right now I'm going in a straight line. I just flicked it to the right. Now I'm gonna flick it to the left. I'm gonna flick it to the right again. And to the left again. Yeah. I have no idea whether it's open and closed. And other helmets that I've owned in the past, I know when my vents are opened or closed. Now, for this chin vent, I can tell. Right now I have it closed for the purpose of this video, but as far as the top vent goes, I have no clue. A lot of bikes out today. Oh, R6. I'm tempted to just buy an R6 like today. Actually, I messaged a couple people. I don't want to buy another bike because there's no room in my garage, so I'm thinking I want to sell the FZ07 and then pick up the R6. For those of you guys who are actually following me and watching the videos, I still haven't had the chance to like play with the Husqvarna. I do have those wheels for it, and they do have some kind of like adventure tires. I really want to put them on. I think it'll give it that like motard look. I've just been so busy with like TikTok lately. I do want to get that supermoto-ish style build like done though. I want to vinyl wrap the fairings, that or like paint them. I think vinyl wrapping would be cooler. Do like a vinyl wrap series on TikTok. It is freaking hot today, dudes. Okay, so if I tuck my head down, now I know what is open and what is closed, because I could feel the air when my head is actually tucked down. Now, when I'm sitting straight up, definitely I can't feel it as much as like when I tuck down. So maybe in a more tucked in position, you definitely get more airflow. This may not be the helmet for naked bikes, or I'm just so used to helmets with like a ton of airflow. I have been rocking a race helmet for like the past 3 years, but most of the time I have those vents just closed. My AGV actually doesn't have vents that open or close. They're either opened or closed. They have vent plugs. It's really annoying. So I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask whether or not this helmet would work with comms. And yes, it does have a pocket there for speakers, and it even has a nice little cover, which should feel pretty good on your ears. Again, one of the main things I noticed was these vents, they're not very good. If you ride like a sport bike, they work just fine. But if you ride something like a naked bike where you're kind of sitting upright, I don't know, I couldn't feel any difference between open and closed. For someone like me, air ventilation is not really that important unless I'm riding in a lot of heat with a naked bike, kind of like I did today. Notable highlights again is this liner. This is a size small. I like more of a race fit, so if I were to buy this myself, I would get a size extra small, which is one size lower than what I normally ride. But if you want something comfortable, then just get your regular size. It does not have the emergency pull tabs, which is kind of a bummer, but to be honest, it's not a deal breaker just because of how good this helmet is. Again, it's not the quietest thing in the world, but for a $250 helmet, it's actually super quiet. Style wise, if you're into this look, almost like a Simpson helmet style, this is it. This helmet is actually the full face version of the Covert. I personally like full face helmets. I don't like to have multiple pieces on my helmet to cover my face. I feel like that adds a lot to the weight. Now, the weight is the biggest seller for me on this helmet. Again, 3 pounds without my mic setup, and even with my GoPro on, felt super light. I'm a huge fan of this D-ring setup. All my helmets have it. I don't like the quick release thing. Some of you guys might be into that. That's not for me. The aerodynamics, it's not bad. I always like to do that head-on side-to-side test, and honestly, if the helmet was just a little bit tighter, I feel like it would have done better. But again, this helmet feels a half size too big. I gotta mention the quality on this helmet again. I have ridden in some $200 Icon helmets, and the quality on this feels more like a $400 helmet. The material, the paint, the clarity of the visor, and honestly, the field of view is huge. And the fact that they give you this smoked visor in the box standard with the 5-year warranty. And you guys know I'm always praising Scorpion's customer service. You can hit them up on Instagram and they will reply. It's hard to beat this $250 motorcycle helmet. I'd use it on the streets, I'd use it at the track, and honestly it's so cheap that I wouldn't even mind replacing this every 2 or 3 years. I hate to say that this helmet is a good bang for your buck, because I feel like you get a lot for 250 bucks. Instead, I'm going to say this helmet's got to be grossly underpriced. I'd compare this against something like an AGV K5. That's how good it is.